Very good morning, good afternoon to everyone. Welcome to this last session of the webinar series. Thank you for joining us and thank you for waiting on us. I request Ms. Shanika to please begin the welcome speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Disha. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, distinguished dignitaries, and the valued audience. It's a great pleasure for me to welcome you all to the 12th or the last session of the prestigious Faculty Development Program 2023 conducted by the Faculty of Management Studies, Sabaragama University of Sri Lanka in collaboration with Publishing. First and foremost, I am honored to welcome Dean, Faculty of Management Studies, Sabaragama University of Sri Lanka. Next, I express my warm
Ms. Shanika, we can't hear you. If you can come a little closer to the mic, please.
Now, is it okay, Ms. Disha? Am I audible?
Yes.
Sorry. So, first and foremost, I'm honored to welcome Professor Atula Jnanapala, Dean, Faculty of Management Studies, Sabaragama University of Sri Lanka. Next, I express my warm welcome to Professor Sumit Narula, Amity School of Communication, Amity University, Gurgaon. He is the resource person for today's session on how to get your journal index in top-tier indices. With great respect, let me also welcome Professor Devasiri Chaya, Chairperson of the Faculty Development Program, Faculty of Management Studies, Sabaragama University of Sri Lanka. With gratitude, I welcome Sangeeta, Chairperson of the FDP, representing Emerald Publishing, and Ms. Disha Lankanpal, Chief Organizer of the FDP, Emerald Publishing. And also, I would like to welcome Ms. Kaufalya Dwarika, Coordinating Secretary of the FDP, Ms. Dimuthu Vijayarama, Assistant Secretary of the FDP, and all the distinguished participants from Sabaragama University of Sri Lanka and Emerald Publishing. In addition to our distinguished guests, we are equally delighted to have valued participants from all the universities worldwide, researchers, the corporate managers, and administrative staff from various corners of the world for this remarkable online webinar series. Once again, I extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you and wish you a productive and enlightening session. Thank you very much. And I will take the next opportunity to introduce the main speaker of today's session, and it's a great pleasure for me to announce him. Let me read his great profile. Dr. Sumit Narula is a PhD in Electronic Media and Conflict Resolution from Punjab University, Chandigarh. He is presently working as Deputy Dean Research at Amity University, Madhya Pradesh, Gwalior. He is also the Director, Head of the institution in Amity School of Communication. He has 2 masters and 2 postgraduate diplomas to his credit. He has published 2 books in mass communication, journalism, and edited several books. One of his books, Environmental Awareness and Role of Social Media, with IGI Publications USA, has recently been indexed by book citation analysis, the Web of Science. He has also published several national and international research papers in reputed journals. He has also been to London, Dubai, Slovenia, Nepal, Singapore, and Amsterdam for research and paper presentations. The core areas for his research: media research, fake news detection, peace building, and conflict resolution. He is also the editor-in-chief of the biannual SCOPUS Index journal named Journal of Content, Community and Communication. He is also the chairman of the Center of Excellence for Detection of Fake News and Disinformation at AUMP. He is well versed with softwares like SPSS, Smart PLS, NVivo 12, Citations 6, and Mendeley. He has taken 400 plus workshops on the topic how to catch, pay, fake, predatory clone journals in academics, and has developed a course with King's University Malaysia and awarded the Innovation Research Award by the university. He is the honorary ambassador for Emerald Publishing South Asia and also the volunteer ambassador for Kasri. He has also taken many workshops with Emerald elsewhere, and turned it in as their resource person on academic integrity. He has also been covered by various newspapers and the hashtag channel. He is also covered by YouTube channel Integrity Matters by Eternity. He has also spoken about academic integrity on various platforms. He has recently released an app named Amity Quality Journal Checker on both the Google Play Store and iOS platform. It has a list of all the fraud, cloud, and predatory journals. He also got 2 major copyrights, 8 novel ways to identify fake or misleading impact factor, and 8 novel ways to catch a clone journal. So here onwards, the platform is yours.
Thank you. Thank you for giving this. Just a second. I need to give permissions. Okay, I can share my screen. Just a second. They want me to quit and reopen. I'm quitting and reopening. Just a minute.
While we wait for Professor Narula to join back, I just want to thank each and every one of the participants who've joined us today for the last session. We really hope that you guys have enjoyed the session so far, and we look forward to engaging with you all again. Just waiting for Professor Narula to get back to us. Once he joins back, let me just check. Yeah, he is joined back. Just another 30 seconds.
You can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir. Let me give you the right. I'll make you the presenter.
No, I got the rights. I got the rights because they go for the restart. So no issues. Show my screen. At the moment, there is nothing on the screen. So
yeah, we can see everything. You can begin, sir.
Okay, so I will open my screen.
We can't see you. We can't see you, Professor Narula.
Just a second.
Sure.
Just a second. Just a second. Yeah, now you can see me and the screen also. So I'm going to the screen and I will be opening a page for everybody. That is the misleading matrices. We'll come back to this later. So first, thanks a lot for giving me this opportunity, the Emerald team and the University of Subrahmanya. And Jen sir, you are like a brother. And I don't feel that we are
Sumit,
far from each other. We are.
You have to unmute yourself.
No, I can hear him. I can hear Professor Narula.
Yeah. So I would like to again thank the Emerald team, Sangeeta Menon ma'am and Disha. It's been like 3-4 years that we're working together, and it's always a proud thing to be joined by the Emerald and to work with Emerald. Thank you, Jayanta Devasiri sir. Thank you, Shanika, for the introduction. And yes, I belong to Subargamaya. I never been to Sri Lanka, but it's been, I think, 4th, 5th virtual session, and I think that we're together, and we were very happy when you came to our university in Gwalior last year. Jayanta sir and Sangeeta ma'am and everybody. So thank you for giving me this opportunity. So this is something new which I will be doing to give these suggestions on how to get your journal indexed in the top tier indices, which is ABDC, Web of Science, Scopus, and UGC Care in India. So I will be quite open in my remarks and in my examples because we have done a lot of work in this area. And there are some red flags also which are there, which are very, very important for you to understand, which will not make your journal a top ranked journal. You might get indexing, but there is always a sword on your head that you might get discontinued or delisted also, because of some of the small errors that people do, some of the smaller changes that if they do to their peer review process or to their website and all, they can make their journal well, or a big journal in the area of research. We started our journal in 2015 when we started our Journal of Content, Community and Communication. It was a simple peer-reviewed and referred journal, but we always had the dream of reaching to the databases of Scopus and Web of Science. So although we haven't reached the databases of Web of Science as yet, but we are in Scopus. We got indexed in 2019 because the standing point is around 3 to 4 years. You have to manage the journal for 3 to 4 years into the online arena, and then you can apply. I will show you the link and everything that from where you can apply and all. And then they have the CSAB, Content Selection and Advisory Board, in which if your journal is good, they will select you for the databases. Then this is Web of Science. And in 2019, when we got indexed, we stayed low for around 3 years in Q4. And then we were in Q3. I will show you Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. And then we stayed in Q3 for 3 years. And now this year, we are eventually in the Q2 category of that. And we say that in Asia, we are at around number 5. I will show you the rankings also through the SGR and other points. And in India, we are at number 2. There is one journal ahead of us. Yes, we are happy with that competition. And if there is competition, you will tell always in your life. So never take your competition and people negatively in your life. So that is also a point that we always discuss, that we learn from other people's mistakes and we learn from them that what are the good practices they are doing and how are they critique and critical of our own system. So we work on the suggestions given by them and we work on the criticism done by them also to make ourselves good in the area of research. So I am sharing my screen. I think my screen is shared. So I'm switching off the camera to save the bandwidth from here. So I will be back again when there are questions. Okay, so if my screen is visible, a quick yes or no, or my screen is gone. I think my screen is gone, so I'm switching on the screen. Okay, and this would be the camera, right? So my screen is on. First, I will go to the misleading matrices. Now, why I am at misleading matrices? Because most of the journals try to get some or the other things related to the impact factor. And as and when they get the impact factor, which is misleading, their journals are discontinued and their journals did not enter the database. This is the main reason. This is the main reason amongst the journals that why they don't get indexed, because they buy the misleading matrices from these agencies. These are the questionable agencies. The names are given alphabetically. You can see as and when you see these agencies' name on any of the good journal, the database management companies will not take your journal. So it is very, very important for the editor-in-chiefs or for the publishers to always go with the genuine impact factor or the genuine site score. There are only two things in the world, which is genuine impact factor and genuine site score. So I will take you live there and then we will come back to this. So what is an impact factor and what is a site score? Let's go to that formula directly and then now look at it. The screen is coming up and the data is also here. So just look at it once. I'm just making it bolder. Just look at this now. So site score versus general impact factor. So JIF is basically given, the general impact factor is basically given by the Web of Science team, which is owned by the Clarivate. And this have the formula and their formula is trademarked, right? So the journals which are in Web of Science can only give you the impact factor, but there are other agencies also like these, which gives you fraud and misleading impact factor. And the first error or the first mistake we do that we buy the impact factor from them. Eventually, the impact factor is for free and you don't have to buy from anybody. Once your journal is indexed, it will be given to your journal automatically. And the contemporary to that is site score, which is given by the Scopus team. So Scopus has its own formula. It says that the document from 4 years has to be divided by citations received in 4 years in Scopus. So if the document is in Scopus, the citations has to be in Scopus, and then it is divided. And the same is the impact factor. If the document is in Web of Science, the citation has to be in Web of Science, and then they divide it. So the question comes that how can print journals can have the impact factor? Print journals cannot have the impact factor. So the major point of these journals is that they get the impact factor. Once again, I'm coming back to that point. They get the impact factor from these misleading agencies. You can see site factor is a fraud one and site score is the original one. This has been misused by many journals. Like I give you the example of our own journal. Our journal is a Scopus index journal, and we do not have the impact factor. Our site score is 2.9. So these agencies contact us, Dr. Narula, they mail us, Dr. Narula, please buy the impact factor from us for X amount of money and take that. But at the end of the day, we know that this is a fraud impact factor and we never buy that impact factor. It is very, very important for us to understand that this formula can give you early success and your journal might get into the databases, but at the end of the day, it will be discontinued because of the malpractices and wrong practices. So it is very, very important for everybody to understand the impact factor and the nitty-gritty related to impact factor. And if you have the genuine impact factor through the Web of Science, that means your journal is already indexed. But most of the journals which are into the nature of cloned or predatory are using these misleading impact factor taken by these companies. So you can once again see these companies and be very, very careful that you do not buy the impact factor or the site score from anybody because it is for free. I will give you the example of our own. Like I have the Scopus Success at the moment because I'm sitting in my office. So I'll show you the database and the example here of our own journal. So this is the database of Scopus. I will put the name of the journal on sources. And you can see the results. Journal of Content, Community and Communication. It might not have been updated as of now, but if we go to SGR, we will go to the ranking also. So you can see the site score is 2.9 and it will be updated after, I think 5th April. It should have been done on 5th May. It was done on 5th May 2023. So there may be some upgradation. So it is 4th June. So it will be updated. But if you go to the SGR, it has been updated. So you can see the whole scenario says that this is our site score and it is logged here, right? So we do not have the impact factor and we understand that. But most of the journals which are in predatory nature or which are in cloned nature, they buy the impact factor from the agencies which are not genuine. And there are reasons that why these companies are not genuine. I will show you those reasons also. So you go to the companies here, and if you look down, you will see these reasons. The website for the metric is non-transparent and provides little information about itself, such as location, management team, and its experience. The company charges journal for the inclusion in the list. Very, very important point. They will charge you to get the inclusion because they are fraud companies. The values for most or all of the journals on the list increase each year. Now the point is that the site score and impact factor is dynamic in nature. It goes up and down, it goes up and down. But in the fraud agencies, it is always up on the side. Because you are paying them money, they will give you any amount of any number impact factor. They can give you 15, next year they can give you 17, then they can give you 20. So it is very, very important for you to understand that the process of impact factor is dynamic. The values for most or all of the journals on the list increase each year. Now you can understand that they will always increase because you are paying them money. Fourth, very, very important point, I'm very, very critical of this point. The company uses Google Scholar as its database for calculating matrices. Google Scholar does not screen for quality and indexes predatory journals. Very, very important point that Google Scholar has no algorithm to screen journals for predatoriness or for other things. So they will index everything. And at the end of the day, they can give you any number taken from Google Scholar. Google Scholar's algorithm is itself is faulty in nature in certain areas. The metric uses the term impact factor, which they cannot use the term. The methodology for calculating the value is contrived, unscientific, or unoriginal. The company exists solely for the purpose of earning money from questionable journals that use the gold open access model. The company charges the journal and assigning them a random value. Then the journals use the number to help increase article submission. So the point is that if you go to a fraud journal, on the header of the fraud journal, it would be written 10 impact factor and it is blinking. And you think that your journal is of good impact factor and it will get indexed. But at the end of the day, the companies will not index your journal. Sometimes you get your journal into the database and after that you buy this fraud impact factor. Even then they can discontinue your impact factor journal because the impact factor is not genuine, and Clarivate usually does it because Clarivate themselves give the impact factor. And if the journal is in Clarivate, they will have the impact factor. But some journals will will buy the fraud impact factor, and this will eventually be a very, very big red flag for these journals. So it is very, very important for you to understand the misleading impact factor agencies and do not buy any kind of impact factor for them for your journal. Now coming to Scopus, so this was the site score. And the same, if you are in Web of Science, you will have the Web of Science impact factor. Now the question is that how to see this and how to manage this. You need to understand the areas in which the indexes have to be done. You have to go to ABDC, or you have to go to Web of Science, or you have to go to Scopus, or if you are only national, you will follow the UGC CARE norm. So we will start from the national, which is UGC CARE in India, which is a very, very important agency, although we look after Scopus and other areas also, but in India, we follow the UGC CARE norms quite practically because that is the part of the Indian education system, a strong part of Indian education system. So I am opening the UGC CARE for you and will spend some time on the UGC CARE. But the first red flag which I have shown you before getting indexed is do not put any disinformation or misinformation or misleading information on your journal website. You can say that nobody can caught you, but no, people are online and they can check back, and then the agencies are also very strong, they can check back, and this could be a very, very big reason for not getting indexing into the various databases. So we are very careful of that, and that is why we do not have any kind of impact factor at the moment, because we haven't bought it. But once we are into the Web of Science, we will get the impact factor. Once again, I'll try to open the UGC CARE. If not UGC CARE, if you have to go to Scopus, so there is a page ready for scopus.com. Let me see if the internet is slow or something. I'm audible to you all?
Yes, Professor.
Okay, I'm audible. Thank you. So just look at this pre-evaluation of Scopus submission. So they will give you the readiness of your journal. So it said, thank you for your interest in being indexed in Scopus, the expertly curated abstract and citation database. In order to receive a free pre-evaluation report on your journal, please complete the form and answer the questions below. Please note that included in Scopus and also avoid a submission embargo period of out of reason that could be easily identified. Positive pre-evaluation report doesn't guarantee positive decision on inclusion in title into Scopus. Right? The pre-evaluation shall not be liable for the final result of the full journal evaluation conducted by the independent CSAB. It is very, very important for us to first understand what is a CSAB. So we click on CSAB and we'll go there and see. So basically CSAB is Content Selection and Advisory Board made by the Scopus. So in that, it is an international group of scientists, researchers, and librarians who represent the major scientific discipline. Year-round, the board members are responsible for reviewing all titles that are suggested to Scopus. It is comprised of 17 subject chairs, each representing a specific subject field. The recommendation of the CSB directly influence the overall direction of Scopus and the prioritization of new content requests to ensure that Scopus content stays international and relevant. So you can read it by downloading it. I will share these documents in the subsequent things, but this is very, very interesting read, and it has all the areas and all the points that why a journal is being removed and when a journal enters the re-evaluation. I'm just bolding it for. So the word re-evaluation comes here. So re-evaluation means that journal can be flagged. Journal, even if a journal is doing well, there are other reasons it might be get flagged. Even if it is not predatory, even if it is not publishing plagiarized paper, even if it is not publishing the wrong paper, there are some other reasons which will make the journal re-evaluated and flagged. So there are 4 ways a journal can be flagged for re-evaluation include. There are 4 ways. First, the journal is underperforming as it does not meet any of the 3 matrices and benchmarks for the journal in the subject area. Second, concerns about the publication standards. So as an editor-in-chief or as a budding editor, we need to read all these documents. The documents are dynamic. They kept on changing. New things are coming. I will take you to COPE guidelines also for editors. We need to read all these guidelines as an editor-in-chief or to stay into that arena. Because if we do not understand that, we are in big trouble. So concern about the publication standards of the journal or publisher have been raised by formal complaints. So publisher needs to also, journal also and publisher also, we need to see that who the publishers are. You can be a standalone publisher, but you need to have strong resolve. You need to have strong ethical commitment. You need to have strong guidelines. Some journals ask for the APC upfront. That is fine. Those are gold open access journal. Some journals ask for the APC once the paper is about to accept or accepted. So this is bad practice. In the beginning, you take the good paper from the researcher, and when it is near to publish, you will ask for money. So it is very, very important for us to understand, to have the guidelines. I am in couple of the emerald journals where we have made that policy of no APC in some of the journals, which are platinum open access journals. So no APC means no APC. It's not that we will vary from person to person. In our journal also, our journal is a platinum or diamond open access journal. From the last 10 years, we are sustaining without the APC. We do not take a single rupee from anybody. And to run a journal, it is expensive. Running a journal is expensive. It is not an easy business. You put a lot of effort to run a website, to buy the Turnitin access, to buy the crossref DOIs, and there are many other things involved to running the upkeeping the website. It is a very, very costly affair to run a journal. Now it depends that whether they want to put some money into it or they want to take the money from the researcher. So paying money for open access is not bad. You need to understand where to pay, when to pay, whom to pay, how to pay. Paying money into somebody's individual account is bad. No publisher will ask you to pay the money to the editor, or the editor is asking money for himself. This is bad. But if you're paying to a gold open access journal, the publisher will issue you a voucher. We have the examples of publishing into a gold open access journal. At the end of the day, we got the waiver, but we could have paid them $900 also. I will show you the live examples of elsewhere journal where our paper is selected, and it was a Q1 journal. The site score, it doesn't have the impact factor. The site score is 20.9. And the APC was $1,700, but they said the waiver goes to $900, and we said no. In the website it was full waiver, so they gave us full waiver. Otherwise, we were ready to pay $900 also, because it is a Q1 journal, a quality journal, and we know I have the understanding that yes, some journals will ask you for the money because it is not easy to maintain the original and the genuine journal. So it is very, very important for you to understand that if you want to take the APC, be very, very clear in the beginning also. In our journal, we do not charge, but if my university says, Dr. Narula, enough is enough, so where will the money come from? From the researcher through the APC. But that money will go to the university or to the library account, not in my pocket. So it is very, very important for us to understand, the publisher, that these kind of formal complaints can also lead you to disaster. So be very, very careful. Point 3, the journal shows the outlier behavior. So outlier behavior, I will show you the examples. The outlier behavior is publishing large number of unaccounted and unrelated papers. This is a very, very big red flag for predatory journals. And we are very vocal about that. Many of the publishers are publishing thousands of papers in a year, which is practically impossible. You cannot have that much peer review. One of the publishers is MDPI, and Springer and other journals are also publishing large number of conference papers. In elsewhere, it is Materials Today Proceedings. They publish thousands of papers, which is practically impossible, but they are doing it. And when you go into the detail, there is an outlier behavior. And India and Sri Lanka and all the Southeast Asian countries are very much targeted by some of the journals, some of the unscrupulous people, who publish thousands of papers. I will show the examples also where we have published thousands of papers, but at the end of the day, the journal is discontinued. And once the journal is discontinued, who is the biggest loser? We are the biggest loser. The journal will stop, but our research, our money, and our everything is gone. And the next and the last point is continuous curation. So continuous curation will be done by the CSB AB feedback. They keep on have a look at the journal. If a journal is underperforming, like nobody is citing the journal, the H index of the journal is not improving, you're not getting citations, you are at Q4 category, you are going very low in the journals or in your publication details, or nobody's sending you the paper, that is also a red flag for not getting into the databases. And once you are in the databases, you will be removed soon. So underperforming, this is the why underperforming is this: self citation rates, total citation rates, and site score. The journal has a substantially lower site score when compared to peer journals in the subject field. So this is the three matrices and benchmarks to identify underperforming journals for re-evaluation. Then you can see the outlier behavior identified through statistical analysis is particularly effective in flagging the potential predatory journal, runs an algorithm that flags journals based on a number of predictors. Finally, the team collects and analyzes previous CSAB title evaluation feedback and continuously flag titles for re-evaluation. And this is 990 titles have been re-evaluated. 44% has the publication concern, 33 underperformance, 12 outlier behavior, and 11 continuous curation. These are some of the more details into it. And Scopus responds to community concerns about predatory journal. So they are responding. The UGC care is also there, you can see. And University Grants Commission, they have written something about the Indian thing also. The Scopus team was continuing. Okay. And then this was the conclusion and the useful links. We will come back to this links later and we can read more. I will share the details. Let me go to the UGC care if it opens. So once again, sometimes the website is down. So in India, we follow the UGC care indexing. Their indexing formula is very clear. There is a document, there is a form which you fill with the information required. And if that information required is fine and the details are given are correct, most probably the journals will be indexed. So it is very, very important for us to understand that the UGC plays also a significant role in our detailing of indexing in India. So at the moment it is not opening, no issues. We will go to Scopus and we will go for the pre-evaluation of Scopus submission. And then you can, after understanding the CSAB, if your title is ready for submission, please complete this form. So you can complete this form here. Suggester.step.scopus.com. So this is the agreement. You must have all these things: the principles of transparency and best practices in scholarly publishing. Here should have the statements. Please provide the publication ethics and publication malpractice statement for this title, for the title, and then you have to click here, and then you have to click all the things: your website, name, peer review, ownership and management, governing body, editorial contact information, copyright and licensing, author fees, process for identification. If you do not have any of these, please do not go for any kind of indexing. So you need to have all these things. Like, you should be very, very clear that why you are entering into the databases and why do you want to have a journal with you. Most of the people say that they want to earn money out of it. So they are on a wrong track. Sooner or later they will be caught and their journal will be delisted. And then we will also be in a kind of a catch-22 situation, that why we have published with them. But it is very, very important for us to get our journals indexed also, because that gives us a lot of reputation also. So you can see here on the left hand side the points. The title should publish. This is the minimum criteria. The title should publish peer review content. The title should be published on a regular basis. To register an ISN, it should have an ISN number. The title should have English language abstract and article titles. The title should have a publication ethics and publication malpractice statement in the English language on its website. It is very, very important to have all these. And then before completing the form, it is there. Contact information you have to fill. Contact information should have been original. Serial title information, and then additional information and submit. So this is the CSAB, Content Selection Advisory Board, form for indexing into Scopus. So do we have any question related to CSAB at the moment? Anybody?
We don't have any questions related to CSAB, but I am definitely receiving some requests. If you can magnify a little bit, so that people can see, what's written. It's not readable right now, and also I'm getting a lot of requests. If you can share the links in the chat, Yeah, this
Okay,
is so much. Yeah, we can see now. And they're asking
right,
if you can share it in the chat so that I can share the links with everyone.
right. I can do that. I can do that. The
Okay,
first link
thank
I will be sharing with them is title suggester. That is, here it is. I will be zooming it once again now. So this is pre-evaluation of Scopus submission, right? It tells you about the readiness of your journal for getting into Scopus. It has the questions like the information has to be filled like that. Journal title, your name, role, country, email, journal's website, English version specifically, agreement on personal data collection. The journal has minimum of 2-year publication history. So minimum 2 years of standing is required, right? For a journal to be considered for Scopus, it needs to be at least 2 years old. This time frame has been put in place not only because of the matrices need to analyze the last 2 years in the order to generate, but also because it helps the evaluators to see how the journal has developed and its growth potential, right? Being a young journal is to some extent an advantage because there is still time to update all necessary changes. So it is there. Journal has a unique title. The journal publishes peer review content. Abstract titles and keywords are in English, right? References. Journal is published regularly. Malpractice statement, author fees, and all the other details. You need to be very, very neat and clean and ethical about your journal. Geographical diversity, subject areas, DOI recommended but not mandatory, but yes, DOI is recommended, and then you submit and then you go there. So I am putting this link ready for scopus.com to the chat box. Go to meeting chat box. So here it is, chat. Type your message here. Okay.
you. I'll share them with the entire audience.
Yeah, yeah, it is at the moment with the organizers. This is the first link, and the second link is of CSAB, which gives us a clear idea about the CSAB. Right, and then this misleading impact factor also for everybody. Do not fall into their trap. Misleading matrices, right? And then the ranking mechanism, Kimago, and going back to that, Kimago ranking mechanism. So now coming back to this Kimago ranking mechanism, they also speak a lot about the journals, a lot about the journals health and its H-index and its citation and its other thing. So if I go to my country, India, India has published 29,70,196 documents. The whole of India in Scopus only. At the moment we are discussing the Scopus only. So the whole of India has published 29,70,196 papers, right? Out of them, 27 lakh are citable documents. But the crux, the point of the fear is here that the citations are very less and our H index is also very less. The H index of India as a country is 858 and the citation is 12 because a lot of publishing is going into predatory journals. A lot of journals are publishing predatory papers from India, and Indians by mistake, because of the unawareness amongst them, is publishing many papers into the predatory journals, which are into the databases. They are into the Scopus databases, but nobody is reading them, nobody is citing them. Because if you go down and if you look at the H index of other countries, you can see it is quite high. Netherlands is quite high, and the publication is very less, half, 13 lakh. We have 27 lakh. And then if we go to Switzerland, half, lesser than half, and the H index is quite high, and the citation score is quite high. So it shows some trends that India is publishing high number of research paper in Scopus databases because there is a rat race to publish in Scopus, but the understanding is not there that even if it is in Scopus, nobody is citing us and nobody is reading us. So in terms of publishing papers, because we are also the hub of paper mills and other predatory publishing, that is also a big problem which India has to face in the coming years, that we have become the hub for the paper mills. So because of that paper mills, we are publishing large number of research papers into the unrelated journals. And because of that, you might get the rankings. The institutions might get the rankings into the NIRF, into the QS, or into THE, but once the data is removed, then you go down. Because the rankings took the process from 2020 to 2024. For 5 years, you are safe because you have published large number of papers in the predatory journals. But once the predatory journals data is not taken, you don't have any ranking. At the moment, the hoodwinking of the ranking system is going on everywhere, because many institutions are publishing into the predatory journals and getting the rankings. But at the end of the day, it is a dangerous phenomena where we are not getting the citation and H index. H index speaks about, I'll go to the H index. So H index speaks about your academic footprints. It is very, very important for us to understand our academic footprints also, because the journals also decide the academic footprints. So if you look at this, the academic footprints, you'll come to know. So the formula says to calculate your H index manually, organize articles in descending order based on the number of times they have been cited. In the below example, an author has put 8 papers that have been cited 33, 30, 20, 15, 7, 6, 5, 4 times. And this tells us the author's H index is 6. It means an H index of 6 means that this author has published at least 6 papers that have each received at least 6 citations. You getting my point? So it is very, very important for us to understand that H index speaks about your academic footprints. So your footprints are there, but they are not academics. You are publishing large number of papers into the large predatory and outlier behavior journal, but nobody is citing you, nobody is reading you. And there will be time when there will be discussion on your H index. Some of the institutions are talking about the H index only. They will not ask you for your CV. They will ask you about what is your H index. And from your H index, they will judge your career and your future. And it varies from institution to institution and agency to agency. In Web of Science, my H index is different. In Scopus, my H index is different. In Google Scholar, my H index is different. But the weakest one is a Google Scholar one, because it takes everything and anything into your database. The citations, if they are not yours, they will put into your account. And you can start enjoying the Google Scholar H index, which might be a wrong H index. But if you are in Scopus, the H index is fine. And if you are in Web of Science, the H index is fine. So it is very, very important. It is very, very important for us to understand the H index also. So that is why I'm emphasizing on H index, that as a country, our H index is very less. Although our publications are rising. So it's a kind of a paradoxical situation, because if your publication is rising, your H index and your citation per document should have also gone up. So this is the main reason that many of the journals are delisted from India, and many of the journals turned predatory from India. I'll show you a live example where we have lost a lot of paper into the predatory one, because the journal got indexed and it had the bad practices. Like ECS Transactions was a journal. It recently got discontinued. You can see 2089 papers, outlier behavior like 548, 544, 2089. So it's a kind of outlier behavior. Now, if we digger into 2000, how many papers from India we have lost? This is the first paper, but there are many. One author like this has published 28 papers in a year in the same journal, and nobody could have stopped her, because that is not the policy here. You can see conference paper are 2000, conference review and all, and how many India has lost. So these are the universities. These are the universities which have lost the maximum papers, and India as a country has lost 1600 papers to a predatory journal named ECS Transactions. So as and when we dig deeper, we see we are losing thousands of papers. Nobody is going to cite them. They will be there on our database, but nobody is going to cite them. I'll show you another publisher who has done this fraud. So we can search by the publisher also. So that is why many of the Indian journals are not now in the databases, because of the reputation. Our reputation has gone significantly down. Just look at this. So this publisher had 3 journals, all of them are removed. So when I click here on one journal, how many papers you can see is, now they will always be there in the databases. So there are 8,300. So 8,340 documents in a year they have published. So if you divide it by 365, they're publishing almost 25 papers every day for 365 days. And when we dig deeper into it, you will see that how many institutions, so they are still into the ranking, the institutions, because the 5-year time is there. After this 5-year is gone, the rankings will significantly go down. You will see the institutions. These are the institutions, those who have published with these journals, and India again has lost 6,500 research papers into one journal. So if you get into the indexing databases, you get your journal indexed, right, for one, but for second and third year, you just sell your soul and you sell the journal and you earn a lot of money out of it. So I go back to this publisher again. So if this publisher has 3 journals, another journal once again was indexed for 1 year, and in 1 year it again published around 8,300 documents. So now what is my point is that this database will be there because it is inflicting the site score. So they will not remove the papers. These papers will stay there, and the site score will be a different kind of thing, right? And the site score is not changeable, so the papers are not removed. And when we dig deeper into 8,332, you will see that the institutions are largely the same, largely the same institutions which were there in another journal, and India again lost 6,100 research paper. So in all, we are losing a lot of research paper because of the bad practices of some of the journals. Although the journals enter the databases, they want to enter the databases for a good cause, but at the end of the day, they turn predatory. So it is very, very important for us to understand that a good journal, if it has to enter the databases, it has to follow the policies strictly. Otherwise, it is very, very difficult nowadays to manage the database and to manage the indexing into the Scopus and into the other databases. I have seen many publishers, big publishers, falling into the trap of guest editors. What the guest editors will do, they will sell the journal. And most of the time, 80% retractions are because of the guest editors into big publishers. Because the guest editors do not relate themselves to the journal, they become the guest editor for 1 month or 2 months. They put all their people together, the peer review team, and everything is flawed, and falsification, fabrication is there, and they publish a lot of paper together on each other's name while sitting together. Sometimes they're sitting together in the same room and doing the peer review for each other. So it is very, very important for a journal to sustain in the market to avoid the guest editor, which you do not know, which are from the countries which you haven't heard of. And if you really want to do a guest edition, we do have the guest editors with us, but these are renowned people, and we check the profiles. And before sending a paper to a guest editor in my life, I check the profile of that guest editor, whether that guest editor belongs to your area or not. The guest editor of communication journal will not be a biology scientist. Yes, he is intelligent than me, the biology scientist, but he cannot edit a communication paper. So if we need the people from that specific, you need to check that before sending your paper to a guest editor. The same goes with the conferences also. You do not go with the conferences where you do not know. Some of the countries are showing you that they will be having a conference in Malaysia, in Singapore and all, but at the end of the day, they do nothing. They will just take the registration fees from you and they'll get away. So it is very, very important for you to understand that these conferences must be avoided, and you do not relate your journal with it. Sometimes you relate your journal with a conference thinking that good papers will come and you will be able to index your journal. No, most of the time the conferences produce fake science and fake research because it is just a networking gimmick now. Nobody is now bothered about the conferencing, and no real research is happening at the conferences level at the moment. So it is very, very important for us to understand that we need to avoid standalone publishers, guest editors we should check the guest editors and the conferences also. Any question, Disha, meanwhile?
Yes, we have one question. I think it's a question that a lot of we've asked in your previous sessions also. Someone has asked that is if suppose that one has unknowingly published a paper in a cloned journal, which is
This goes, yeah.
then
So the answer would be that we need to remove the digital footprints of that particular paper. And
just,
digital footprints means that paper should not be visible on the website.
just 1 minute, just 1 minute. Let me finish the question. So the question is
Mhm.
that which is then notified in UGC website. So whether
Mhm.
that paper will be considered as published or not.
It will not be considered as published because the website has verified that it is a cloned journal. So once a journal is cloned, how can you publish your paper into that, and how can it be verified paper? Because the website is cloned and it can go down anytime. So you need to write down to that website, tell them that you want to remove the paper from your website because you are a cloned journal, and they might charge you because they are into the business of blackmailing, or you might have to send them a legal notice also. Then they remove your research paper. So if it is a good research paper, you get yourself ready and write them a mail and put them into this harsh language that you will be going for a cyber police crime case against them, and you need to get your paper removed from there. Because if the digital footprints are there, like for suppose you send that paper to me for my journal, I will run it through the Turnitin or through the Iamthicate. So Iamthicate or Turnitin will tell me that this paper has published somewhere else. Even if it is published in a cloned journal, the digital footprints are there. So it would be very, very difficult or next to impossible for me to publish it in my journal. So it's better that we should remove the digital footprints of that paper. Otherwise, we will not be able to publish that paper anywhere else till the time it is online.
Right. We have another question which says how to recognize pediatric journal if it is in Scopus.
So as Scopus has given us the guidelines, the predatory journals will show you the outlier behavior, right? The outlier behavior will tell us that these journals are publishing large number of papers unaccounted for, right? Their self-citation rate is quite high. Their turnaround time is quite high. They are publishing the papers in 4 days, 5 days. They say that their peer review is very quick and efficient, but it is impossible to get your paper published in 5 days. Some of the timelines where I have published, the timeline has gone up to 1 year. I'll show you an example because the turnaround time is very, very important for us to discuss. So if I have that data with me, so in that they have taken around, I would say, 1 year. They've taken around 1 year for that. So if not here, I will take it from the, just a second, workshop data. Just look at this Emerald benchmarking journal. Look at the time. So we sent our paper on 29th September 2022. The first major revision. We have that patience for 6 months. There was nothing, but then there was a major revision. We again sent that paper on 27th April. Again, there is a major revision on 14th July. And on 8th August, we submitted again, and 11th August is the result. So acceptance is come on 11th August. 29th September 2023, 2022 we have submitted. So it took us 1 year. So please understand that it will take you around 9 months to 12 months to 1.5 years. Minimum 6 months turnaround time is there. So the journals which are publishing rapidly, quickly, they might not be giving you that proper peer review. So it is very, very important for you to understand that a timeline is important, and this is one of a big red flag to journals predatory, and it's a big red flag for the editor also, those who are giving the commitment of publishing early. So you cannot publish your paper in a kind of early thing. So I can tell you about our own self. The projects that we are doing now will be published in 2025. For 2024, we have done the work. Now the papers, the results, we will start getting it in 2025. So if you are thinking that you want to publish a paper right now to save your job, you are in a big trouble, or you are in predatory journals. And predatory journals look for these people, those who want early publication. So getting an early publication is a wrong phenomenon. And this timeline is very, very important.
What an wonderful insight, Professor Narula. Adding to the first question I had asked, when someone had said that they had unknowingly published their paper in a clone journal, they are asking what if it is only in the print edition only?
Then there are no digital footprints. So the print edition, if it is not online, we cannot search it. So prima facie, we have no clue whether that paper has published, yes or no. But if you put it on Google Scholar or ResearchGate or academia.edu or somewhere else, then again, the digital footprints have to be removed. If there are digital footprints, it will be caught and it cannot be republished. So it is very, very important for you to remove those digital footprints. If it is only online, you can send it to any other. If it is only offline, you can send it to any other online journal, and you can discuss the case in them also that this has published offline, and I don't even have the copy of that journal, and it does not have any digital footprint. You please rerun your paper on Google and see whether it is visible or not. Sometimes the offline journals which are cloned, they might have the website also. So please check your journal online. If it is not there, then you're good to go.
Wonderful. One person has asked about a journal itself. They are saying that, sir, is TANZ Research Journal is Scopus Index UGC Care Group? Please let me know.
Yes.
It's a.
What is
it's
the
called
name of, what is the name of the
T.
journal? T.
Yes. I am just 1 second. I have sent it to you in the chat.
Okay.
Please see if you can see it in the
TANZ.
chat.
Okay, I can see that. TANZ.
Research Journal.
So you have only three, TANZ and Tanzania Health Research Bulletin. So at the moment, it is not in the databases because it has to be self-populated by Scopus. So if I write TANZ, it is something there. TANZ Research Journal is not there. Let's go to the website there also. So let's go to TANZ from here and see what comes out. And then I'll go to the website. It is of visual arts and performing arts. Meanwhile, it is opening. We will go to TANZ Research Journal. So this is the website. So again, you can see that they have given you the impact factor. If they are not in Web of Science databases, they cannot use the word impact factor, but they are using it. So I am just giving you the example here. So impact factor cannot be used by anybody except the journal should be in the Clarivate. So again, you can see the frequency. I think it is a doubtful journal for Indian author. They're asking for 2000. It has the doubts. So where are this? Okay, they are in Scopus. So they are not in Scopus. The first thing. So they are not in Scopus. Let's click on this link and see where they take us. So they have taken us to this link, TANZ, and the same journal which we have just opened here, content coverage, 224 documents. I don't think so. The publisher will have this kind of poor website. This might be a case of a cloned journal. So let me get into the details. So let's go to the content coverage, 224 documents, and then we can see that from which link they are taking the documents. The score is 0. You can see it is looking like kind of, I don't want to use that word, but looking like a fraud journal at the moment. Only the titles like this are there, no author names are there. So highly doubtful journal. And this is not the original website at all, because if I go to the SJR and try to find out the details from there, we might get some other website. So TANZ here, because it is published from a different country. Let's see. Here it is, Germany. So Germany will not have this kind of core website. Let's go to this home page and it take us to. So this is the original journal. So this is the cloned website. This is the cloned website. It's an alert, everybody. TANZ Research Journal. This is the cloned website of the original journal. There are red flags also. They give you fake and misinformation also. They're charging money like 2000 and something like that. Charging money is not bad, but charging like this is showing that they are not into the right hands. And this would be, I will again go to the original one. So this is the original journal, which is in Germany, publishing in German language, which should be the case. Once again, I go back to this fraud journal. And if you go to the current issue, you will see many Indian papers there, right? Pune, Egypt. I will also put that into my database into my app. And if I go to the editorial board, the names must be cut copy. Okay, you can see a German name. Rahul Banerjee and all. And these people doesn't know that their names have been misused here. 110%. These people doesn't know that their names have been misused here. So tons I have put it. I will also put that into the app or into the channel where I put the data that this is a fraud journal. So let's go to the archive. So the question is being answered that this is a fraud journal and you do not publish with them the original website. If somebody counters you, so give them this original website. So I'm putting this original website in the chat box for everybody. So here it is. This is the original website. Right. So after the timeline, anything else?
So nothing so far. That was the last question so far.
Right. Then, okay, Jayan sir, any question from your side?
Oh, any other question? Thank you very much for being with us for the first session and also for the last session. So you have done a wonderful job.
Right. So now after going to this, I will go to the ABDC we have done of Scopus. So ABDC, I am in complaint of that. They do not update their databases. So the last upgradation done by them, the website is opening, was in 2022. So I am just look at the ABDC website, and they've written on the website itself, no ranking changes have been made since 2022. So I don't want to give the time, this much time to the journals. A journal should only be given 3 to 6 months because of that, from 2 years, there are some predatory journal into the databases. And these journals which are in C category and some in B category, they know that nothing will be done with them. They are there in the databases. So it is very, very important for the understanding of the people, those who are looking after the management of these databases, that they must understand that. They must understand that this is important. The upkeep and the checking of the databases. So after 2022, why not? Why CSAB and why the Web of Science and why the UGC care is up to date? Because they have a check. They keep on a check. They keep on getting the complaints from the whistleblower. I don't like the name whistleblower with me, but most of the people have added that name with me. So okay, that name is with me, agree. So whistleblowers give them the information about the fraud journals. So, but if you do not work on them for 2 or 3 years, the journal will make a lot of money. And after that, even if you remove them, they say, okay, remove us, no issues. We have earned that. We have earned our money. Some of the journals are doing the bad practices from day one, from the day they got indexed. But if you take 2 years or more than 2 years in removing them or giving them red flags, that means your database management is not proper enough. And the journals are misusing that system. So it is very, very important. So I usually say that ABDC is a good database management system, but they are not properly up to date. It should be done on the monthly, not 3 months basis, even on the quarterly basis about the journal. You just cannot give a journal 2 blank years to publish and to do whatever they want to. So even they don't have the database with them, they have the names of the journals. Now what journal is publishing, they don't know. In Scopus and in Web of Science, they take the data of the journal to evaluate them on certain yardsticks. They don't give the scot-free thing into the journals. The journals cannot publish unnecessary papers because the database is being managed by Scopus and the Clarivate themselves. They download your research papers, put them into data, they see the numbers, they see the red flags and all. And in ABDC, it is altogether different altogether game. So they have 4 categories, A star, A, B, and C. So in B and C, there are errors, not in A star or A category. Because there are no changes since 2022, the errors will continue. And most of the Indians are now publishing some of the C category journals, which looked predatory even to a naked eye. So it is very, very important for these databases to just manage their goodwill and their reputation. Because it's not India, it's other countries also, those who are into the trap of paper mills and publishing large number of unaccounted paper into the ABDC journal quality databases. Right? So this is the concern, and these are the information. Their quality is released 2019, and then in 2022 again it was released after 3 years. And now we are in 2024. Let's see when the next would come, right? Now coming from here, we will go to the MJL, that is the Web of Science, MJL, Master Journalist, Web of Science. So you create your free account here. I have created my free account, and you can enter the database. You will be able to see a lot of things, but not everything. So I've created my free account. I'm logging in with my Gmail ID. You can enter with your Facebook, Google, Orchid, and LinkedIn ID. So I'm putting it here, my Gmail ID, signing in, and this is the information now. So I can search journal downloads, and in downloads you can see list for each index are available for download. For subscribers, these are the monthly changes archive. Every month they discontinue, add, or delete some journals. Earlier they were not doing it, now they are doing it from the last 1 year. The full information will be provided to the people that these journals have been discontinued or deleted. So I download the May 2024 list for you. Let's see that list. In Scopus also they give us the discontinued list every month, but it has not been released till now. I'll go to Scopus also. I clicked on sources, and when I clicked on sources, there will be a link here. Yes, download Scopus source list and download the Scopus source list. Let's see if we have got the latest one. I have had the March with me, but it's June. So let's see if it has been updated. No, it's not updated, but we will download it for everybody. So let's see the journal change month May 2024 by the Web of Science first, and then we'll come back to Scopus. So this is the list. It is an Excel sheet, and it is open to everybody for free. You can download it. Just have a look at it. The following journals have been added, and some of them has been deleted also. So we will scroll down. These are added, and just minimize it a bit. These are the editorial delisting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 journals have been delisted. So if we go there, so from here, Saudi Journal of Biological Sciences up to this have been discontinued with the reasons like this: production delisting, editorial delisting, and some are SCIE also. So journals, even the Elsevier Journal also, or Oxford University Press Journal also. So the journals which are not doing well, they cannot sustain, they will be removed. So every month you need to carefully understand this list. These journals might not tell you. Most of the predatory journals will not tell you that they have been discontinued. They will never put that on their website, because they will. This will, you can say, this will break the purpose of earning money or doing fraud. So they will not tell you. You need to reach to them, and as an editor, you need to carefully understand that why. As an editor, I read them that why these journals are discontinued, so that my journal can sustain. If I can learn from others' experiences, it's very good. So I keep on having a look on the journals that why they are discontinued, even if they're not predatory. Not every predatory journal is there. Some of them are removed because of the bad practices, because of the formal complaints, because of publishing unnecessary papers, because of not managing the deadlines, because of not having a good site score, because of not having an impact factor, because of not having an H index, because of not a lack of citations, because of lack of editorial board, because of the lack of the chief editor. So there are many problems, and there are many gray areas. So it is very, very important for us as an editor-in-chief to read a lot, to understand the full process, to understand the full peer review process, and to understand the full scenario of the publishing industry as a whole. If you want to sustain yourself in Scopus and Web of Science, that what are they looking for? What are the new things which are coming up? And what are the new softwares which are there? So we usually publish at least 2 to 4 papers from the softwares like NVivo, Smart PLS, SPSS, Atlas.ai. If you have the usage of the softwares, the papers will not be desk rejected in other journals also, and in your journals also you get more citations also. So as an editor-in-chief, it is very, very important for me to see that my journal should get some of the good citations from good journals. Although Scopus gives you the database that who is citing you and when, but it is very, very important to have an eye on that you should not get the citations more from the predatory journals, which looks like that you are hand in glove with the predatory one. And some of the big journals are got removed because of the citation cartel. I know a Q1 journal which was involved in a citation cartel and was subsequently removed from the databases of Scopus. So you do not, as an editor-in-chief, join hands with the predatory journal for citations, because it will be caught. a biology journal is giving citation to a management journal, you will come to know. Once you can get away, but twice or thrice you are gone. So it is very, very important for us to understand that citation cartel should not be involved, and we need to know that why these journals are removed, and we need to be careful from those points. So after looking at this list from the database, Disha, I will share that list with you. We will once again go to the list of the Web of Science, of Scopus. So Scopus, I have downloaded it here. The discontinued list, downloads. Here it is. I have downloaded it 3 times earlier also. So,
Professor Narula, there is a question. I really hope if Professor Devasiri and you both can take this question, because I think it's very, very important. But once you're done speaking, then we can take this question.
Okay, so this is a discontinued. Yeah, this is a discontinued list provided by Scopus. Every month you can see the list. The journals which are in red are being just discontinued now. Others are being discontinued earlier. So you can see if one journal named this, International Journal of Applied Engineering and Technology, was discontinued because of the publication concerns and the reason. And then you have this migration letters, Kurdish studies, and scholastic modeling and computational sciences and other related journals. So this is very, very important. We'll come back to this. So go to the question, Disha.
Hello.
Go to the question, Disha. Yeah, go to the question, Disha.
So question for both Professor Devasiri and Professor Narula. Yes, the question is, dear sir, if a journal is an open access journal, will it be considered a good quality journal? Because journals ask APC by claiming that they are an open access journal.
It varies from publisher to publisher. If it is a good publisher, you must go for the APC and open access journal. If it is a standalone publisher, you need to answer 5 questions: where to pay, when to pay, whom to pay, how to pay. So standalone publishers means you do not know them. Like there is one standalone publisher, I'll give you the example, Kurdish study. So Society of History and Culture Study was a standalone publisher. And then there's some Roman, one journal is removed, which is the publisher is Roman. This Roman Science Publication and Distributors. And it's look like that it is in Rome, but it is an Indian publisher. So these kind of standalone publishers, you need to be very, very careful, and you need to understand that whether to pay, when to pay, whom to pay. Over to Devasri sir.
So we can't exactly say that all the open access journals are very good quality journals. The reason is that there are some journals, the quality is not maintained, but they are open access. So we can see that. For an example, if you see Sri Lanka as an example, so all the universities in Sri Lanka, they publish journals, but they are not indexed in Scopus, ABDC, and so on. So that we cannot take it as most reputed journals in Sri Lanka. So I have given only one example, but all the open access journals are not good quality journals, so we cannot say like that.
That's what the red flags in open access, that they ask for money and they ask the money in their accounts. Open access journals usually ask for the APC into the publisher, and if it is a standalone publisher, we need to be very, very careful. I have just published a paper in a gold open access, but we got the waiver. But yes, if I paid them the APC, there could have been a voucher. And not an individual person was asking for money. The company was asking for that money into their account, and the voucher will be issued. So if a person is asking for the money.
Yes, and also as clearly mentioned by Professor Sumit, the editorial process and also the APC charging process, that should be separated. So the reason is that the people who are asking for the APC, so those should be editorial managers or the publishing house, not the editors in chief. So that should be a separated process.
I will show you the example, the APC waiver. I'll show you the personal example. We published with this journal, the International Journal of Information Management Data Insights. Let's go to the website of this journal. A Q1 journal, a Science Direct journal. It has an open access also. You can see that the standard fees is $920. And then there is one more thing. Please note that the relevant article submitted to special issues in 2023 will have the full APC waived. It signifies that if I've done that in 2023, the APC will be waived. So I go back to the mail again, and we have done that in 2023. They said, no, please give us the proof. So I gave them this proof with a screenshot underlining that we have submitted the paper and you have written that on your website. So they said, okay. So they said, upon checking, I'm pleased to inform that we will be able to waive your article on this occasion. So I got the waiver and I said, thanks and all. I got the waiver. I might not have got the waiver. I could have paid the fees. Right? So open access, you need to understand where to pay, when to pay, whom to pay. This kind of journals you can pay. But if it is written there, go for your case, write to them, and they will give you the waiver. Nobody can take and extract money from you. It's not an extraction business. But yes, in some of the fraud journals like this, it is an extraction business. Now, if you publish with them and if you want to remove them, both times they'll take money. For publishing, they'll take 2,000. For removing, they'll take 5,000 because they know that you are caught. Right? Any other question?
So after talking about the APC and this, someone is asking, please let us know how we can see our citation score in SCOPUS.
Definitely, you can see it. Go to Scopus. Just a second. If you can get the name, Disha, I will just go by the name. So you can go to search. You need to have the access with you. In search, go to authors. I'll type Narula, Sumit, search, and it is there. 27 documents, 6 H-index. Click here for more information. Click here, view citation overview.
I deleted the question. Can they please message their name again?
This is my detail. I can check anybody. Anybody can check mine. These are my details.
Yes.
So it is, everything is in black and white. It's open.
So if you have any more questions, please keep on typing the questions.
Or if you want to check any name, any university, we can check it, Disha. It is there.
Yes. So also one thing. Okay, this question is for me. Someone has said that they have never received a feedback form for this FDP. Sir, the whole idea for this FDP was just to share knowledge amongst the community. We'd love to hear from you. You've got our email IDs. If you want to give us any feedback, you can write to us. But we haven't really made a feedback form as such. I don't know if I can discuss with Professor Devasri to see if we can collect some feedback. But as of now, we've not done. Haven't gotten any feedback filled up. And we have someone. That's it. I don't have any more questions. Are there any more questions from the participants? Please do put them in the questions tab.
If they don't have any question, we are also good to go. Disha, I think I have completed my course on this.
Yeah. We've got one last.
I'm sitting here. I'm sitting here. No problems. I'm just saying that if you don't have questions, so I'm just sharing the screen. I'll share the screen. I'll switch on the camera. I will share the screen as and when they want something from me on the screen. But the 5 points for me to continue saying that if we want to be in indexes, we need to, for the database management companies, that we have to save ourselves from the red flags. The red flags are dynamic in nature, but there are 10-15 red flags which will always, that we should avoid the fraud impact factor first, which is a very, very important part. And then there are other related factors. And then I have shown you that journal also, that some of them definitely come back to you and say that they are indexed here and there. But at the end of the day, it is our responsibility to get them checked. If they are unable to do that, I am putting my email ID. So we have our helpline also. You can write to us. Do not send us your research. Only send us your name of the journal which you like to verify, and we'll help you in that. So I'm putting that email ID in the helpline. So that is acdfnd@ggn.amity.edu. So this is the helpline we have started for the people, and I personally look after that helpline, and we'll get back to you with the original information. And again, we are very active on LinkedIn and WhatsApp, and lot many other workshops are coming up with the Emerald and with Devasri sir and all. So we keep on giving these awareness, and our campaign is focused from saving you from the bad science and bad academics. And India is into the grip of predatory journals and predatory paper publishing and paper mills. So we're trying our level hard to publish with various publisher. I am trying to publish with every publisher. We have published with Wiley, Sage, Emerald, Springer Nature, elsewhere. So we try to understand their policies, their turnaround time, so that we can give you the real example, live example, that how much time a journal will take, how much money they can ask for, what is an APC, what is a letter that you receive from them, what is the turnaround time from the journal. So we see it so that we can give you the best of the experience when you are listening to us or when you are attending the workshop, that all the things that we have discussed, no slides are involved, everything we do is live, and we give that hands-on experience.
Professor Narula, can you also please share the link where you were checking the Scopus citation number 1? And
Scopus citation, you
also,
need to go to your account. Disha, for Scopus citation, you need to go to the account of your university Scopus ID, and then you have that with you. If you don't have the basic, if you have the basic account, you will not be able to check. So for basic account, you need to have the access. And readyforscopus.com I have given you for the checking of the journal for readiness of the Scopus. And second question, Disha?
so one more question is, it's there saying that, sir, what if the paper is already submitted and we found that the journal is fraud? What are the next steps to withdraw from the journal?
Just write them that your supervisor and co-author wants to do some more research on that, and at the moment you are withdrawing the paper, and you will not be participating in the journal. And if you publish that paper, it will be not taken into good sense, and they will go for a complaint formal against them, formal complaint. Just tell them that they really want to publish with them at the moment, but the research is not ready. So something of this kind have to be written to them. If they write them they are cloned, they will publish your paper, and then they will try to extract money out of you because they know that you are caught. So just write something like that, that paper needs some major revisions, and you will be resubmitting it after the revisions.
Okay, one more question. They're saying that, can I go to Scopus, check which journals are listed, and then publish our article in respective related journals?
Definitely, but that too be Q1 and Q2. Q3 and Q4 are volatile. Means the lowest ranked journal are volatile. Be careful, but if you're starting your career, you can start with Q3. We have reached up to the level of Q1 after 7, 8, or 10 years in our research. We also started from Q3, but Q3 are a bit vulnerable. Q4 are totally vulnerable. So what I would say that yes, you can go there, download the list from Scopus, and then start looking for the journals. And then once you are doubt, you write to us. We will get back to you with the official information, because I know some of the journals are red flag, but it's not written anywhere. But because of the tendency, because of the working of the journal, we can say that it is a red flag journal. And we have done that thing copyrighted also. So we can catch them before you, and then we can tell you that also.
Right. Now, they are saying that my paper was part of ISBN. Does it mean that I cannot publish my paper elsewhere?
Yeah, ISBN means you have published your paper in a book. ISBN number is being given to the book. So once a paper is published, you just cannot publish it anywhere. Even if it is published in a newspaper, you cannot publish it anywhere. So ISBN is for book, ISSN for the journals, and RNI is for the newspaper. So once it has the digital footprints, you just cannot do anything about it. Yes, you can have a new paper out of that with some new knowledge, but do not paraphrase, re-paraphrase, because of the tortured phrases. Golinak is doing a research in France where he has produced thousands of, where he has shown us that people are producing thousands of tortured phrases where the words are being interchanged, synonymous are there, but at the end of the day, these are no words at all, meaningless words.
Right. I think we have time for just 2 last questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
Someone has said that, can we say that good quality papers are directly proportional to high citation score of the paper?
It's a 50-50. Sometimes, like we have published a very good paper in benchmarking and in other journal, both are under paywall because we couldn't pay them the APC. The journal was the hybrid model. So the paper was published, but it is under lock and key. So I'm not getting that visibility and citations. So paper is very good. I will send that paper to everybody. You will enjoy that paper. It is of 36 pages. So yes, citations plays an important role, but if the paper is under lock and key, it will not have the access for everybody. So it is very, very important for us to understand that where is that paper. If it is an open access paper, you might have a weak paper, but it will have more citations because the paper is open access and everybody is citing it for whatever reason it is. So for me, it is 50-50. Yes, citation plays an important role, and yes, citation has to be there with your paper, but you need to see where that paper is lying at that moment. So now ResearchGate has done a deal with all the publishers. ResearchGate will not publish your paper for free. It will check the copyrights from that publisher. And if the copyright is only for the abstract, you give the full paper to ResearchGate. No problem. They will not publish. They will publish only the abstract. Because what people were doing, they were evading the APC and adding the full paper into the ResearchGate for free promotions. So ResearchGate has done the deal with all the publishers now. So if the Emerald will not give them the copyright for full paper, Emerald paper can also not be given to ResearchGate, only the abstract will be seen. So this is giving us a lot of lesser opportunities because we didn't pay the APC, but paper is really very good. But if you have paid the APC, the paper is good. Yes, citations plays an important role. So both the things are there.
So the question we asked about the ISBN, she's rephrased it a little bit. She's saying that my abstract was a part of an ISBN book as a part of a conference. Does it mean I cannot
you have
publish?
to change the abstract. If you haven't published the paper, change the abstract and get it done. It can be done.
Perfect. So she just said that the abstract was a part of the ISBN and not the paper of the book.
Yeah, so abstract can be a part of, like we are also now publishing our abstract in a conference in Malaysia, but it might not publish the full paper there. The paper might publish somewhere else. So we need to see that how we want to go about it. But yes, abstract and the paper are sometimes unrelated. You can change them.
Wonderful. Last question. I don't understand the question, but this is really the last question. What are Google index journals? I don't know if.
So Google index journals are practically the journals which are online. So Google has a significant guidelines. They do not check what are you typing, what are you writing, what are you publishing. They have the technical guidelines. If you follow those technical guidelines like OJS, Open Journal System, if your journal is an OJS journal, an Open Journal System journal with all the technical guidelines being followed, you are a Google index journal.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? They are not like Scopus, they are not like Web of Science, they're not like UGC Care, they do not like ABDC. So they're not like them. They are just a simple technical agency, which if you have the OJS system with you, with the 3.0 specifications, you will be in Google Index Journal. And they not have that much of relevance and significance also. Their H-index also does not have that much relevance and significance because the algorithms on which they work are not up to the mark, and there's a lot of work they need to do to sustain in the market. They have given us the I-10 index, which I'm critical of that. The papers who have got 10 citations will be your I-10 index. So I'm critical of that point also. Yes, they are giving us the ideas, they are giving us the details, but they're not totally into it, that how an academic is being run and how a journal is being indexed. And if it is a Google Scholar Index, they should have something big in that. It's like an Apple Index journal. Apple can also start the indexing any day.
Professor Narula, thank you so much for today's session. I think it was very insightful, and I think for all 12 sessions, I can say this personally. Every time I have sat in a session, I have learned something new that day, and today as well, I've learned something new. So just very, very informative. Thank you so much. I invite Ms. Dimitri to please do the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Disha. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, distinguished dignitaries, and our valued audience. First, I apologize for being unable to open the video due to some technical difficulties. And it is with immense pleasure that I extend my heartfelt gratitude on behalf of the Faculty of Management Studies and Sabaragama University of Sri Lanka and Emerald Publishing for the successful completion of the 12th and the last session of the Faculty Development Program 2023. First and foremost, our deepest thanks to Professor Sumit Narula, Director, Amity School of Communication, Amity University of Gurugram, Editor-in-Chief, Journal of Content Community and Communication, Brand Ambassador, Emerald South Asia, for delivering an inspiring and enlightening session specially designed for our emerging researchers, especially towards publishing in index journals. Your insights have truly enriched our program. We sincerely acknowledge Professor Attula Nyanapala, Dean, Faculty of Management Studies, for his unwavering support. Special thanks to Professor M.S.M. Aslam, Chairman of the Research and Publication Unit, and also all the unit members for their invaluable contributions and dedication to this initiative. Our heartfelt gratitude goes to Professor Janthan Devasiri, Chairperson for the Faculty Development Program, whose visionary leadership has been the cornerstone of this remarkable series of events. We extend a special mention to Ms. Sangeeta Menon and Ms. Disha Lakanpal from Emerald Publishing, whose collaboration and efforts were instrumental in organizing this exceptional event. Your support has been valuable. Our profound appreciation goes to the meticulous planning and execution by the organizing committee. Special thanks to Ms. Shanika Radnasiri, Program Secretary, and Ms. Kaushalyani Rwandika, Coordinating Secretary. Your dedication and hard work have been integral to the success of the Faculty Development Program. Lastly, we extend a sincere thank you to our esteemed audience. Your unwavering support and active participation throughout the 12 sessions of the Faculty Development Program have been truly commendable. Your engagement has been the driving force behind our success from the beginning to the last session of the Faculty Development Program. Thank you all once again and have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much, everyone, for your participation. So you have been attending for this program continuously for 12 sessions. So your certificates for participation will be received through email. So if you have attended more than 70% of the whole program, so you will be receiving your certificate of participation. In addition to that, for the recordings of the program, so all the sessions are uploaded to the YouTube channel. So you will be receiving the YouTube links to the Play Store or the playlist of the whole program. In addition to that, we have conducted another 2 programs in 2022 and 2023. So that is Writing Impactful Research Program and also Research Mentoring Program. So we will share those links as well. So thank you very much for joining us. So have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Disha. Thank you, Nangita. Thank you, Jenta.
Thank you, Professor Devasiri. Thank you, audience. Thank you so much, everyone.